Right.
Hello.
Hello. Not sure who's here to join us. I know it's kind of last minute and late, but we did want to share with you all before our storm rolls in this evening a little bit about some of our upcoming plans for the summer and some different videos that you can expect from us in the near future. So full that we would be spending a lot more time out at the cabin, projects. We're still going to definitely get some of those done, such as our windows, hopefully, our woodshed, maybe getting a trail down to our creek. Some of those things are just more major for us that we're hoping to accomplish and will be a decent amount of work, but we're ready to still do it. It's now June, so we have just a few short months ahead of us, really like 2. June, July, 3. Okay, 3
Yeah,
with
the
August.
first snow last year was September 2nd. So.
Yeah, so not a lot of time to accomplish all of that among everything else that we have planned for our summer. So we're going to try to make it out to the cabin as much as possible and get those things done. But we do have some slightly unexpected plans. We've shared a little bit with you as kind of some information. We just want to go into that a little bit about what our next few weeks hold and what you can expect from seeing from us, shared with you probably towards the end of July when it's all said and done. And that is our last step for the second time with them since they've been here, going on 7 years. And we're taking a cross-country trip. It's pretty big, and so we are just going to be spending about 16 days just kind of exploring the lower 48 to give them an idea of what life outside of Alaska is like. Like I said, it wasn't really our plans for the summer because we have a lot planned on our cabin, but we still plan on sharing it with you. So a little bit about our trip. We are flying to Arizona, and originally this all started because this gentleman over here purchased a vehicle, a sports car, if you will, for some of those who are familiar, in the lower 48 that we are going to drive back and make an adventure of a lifetime. Well, we won't be driving it back now, but we decided to still keep this adventure because our kids were really excited. So we are going to Arizona, flying in, and we are going to hit between national parks, state parks, national monuments, 22 different places before we come back to Alaska. And we're going to share that with you. So we're going to go to the Grand Canyon. We're going to go to Antelope Canyon. We're going to go to the Four Corners Monument. We're going to go to Zion National Park, Bryce National Park. We're going to Vegas, baby! And then we're going to go to Death Valley and Sequoia National Park and Yosemite and Glacier National Park and Banff and Jasper in Canada before we head back to Seattle to leave. So we have a storm coming in.
It's a little nasty out here.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear it, but we have a storm rolling in right now. So we're gonna hit, and there's lots of other little stops along the way, but those are the major ones. So we're gonna share that with you. Anything you want to add about those?
Yeah, I mean, just as a whole, to shed some
Context.
context, I guess. So I've always been a car guy. Grew up in the Honda scene. Then once I got a real job, I had an FD RX-7. So I've always been into cars, racing, imports, that whole thing. Kind of hitting the midlife crisis stage. Was really planning for next year, but found a car I really wanted this year, so I flew down to Los Angeles and I bought it and I drove it to my friend's house in Phoenix. Was storing it there. We planned on driving the car back. The car is a 1996 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 4. Not my dream car per se. I'd say my dream car has always been and always will be an Acura NSX. But we have 2 kids and there's no back seats in NSXs. So I picked the JDM car that has back seats, an Evo. So I'd always wanted a JDM car, always wanted to import the right-hand drive. I know it's a pain in the ass and it's really a novelty that'll wear off, but I just had to have one. So I flew down and I bought this Evo 4. Drove it from LA to Phoenix. Almost needed a tow truck. The clutch slave cylinder gave out. I was shifting by rev matching it, but I made it. So then there's actually an Evo performance shop in Phoenix that I brought it to. I wanted to go over the car because obviously we're going to drive it 5,000 miles.
That's a storm.
So they went over it and it actually had low compression on cylinder number 3. So we're doing a full engine rebuild. It's going to cost as much as the car did to rebuild the engine and everything else. And then we'll probably end up just shipping the car up in the future. But the kids are super excited for the trip. They're excited for the car too, but me too, but we got let down.
We got to get them at least
That's kind of been my experience with cars my whole life, is you spend lots of money and you get let down and depression and heartache. But I keep going back. But they're excited to see the lower 48, so we're gonna go anyway.
So we are going to go to this epic lower 48 journey. We are camping mostly the entire way. As our kids said, they're probably going to be tired of being in tents at the end of this, which they're probably right, because we're going to camp our whole way, stay in a few hotels, do some epic things, go see all these national parks. We'll record some of it, share it with you.
Oh, that's the car.
And that's the wonderful car that spurred all of this, but we still want to try to make them happy, so we're going to do it. We'll share it with you, like I said. You can expect it probably towards the end of July. But in the meantime, between now and then, some of the content that you will see is us preparing for spring. I know it's summer right now, but we spent a lot of work trying to get the cabin ready for our big breakup season and spring coming in. So it's us doing a lot of work for that, sharing that with you, burning our poop, and then also having a very epic time with our friends. So our friends came out, which is really exciting, towards the end of winter, right before our breakup was going to happen. And they ended up getting lost and stranded, kind of like an emergency situation. We didn't have any contact with them. We didn't know where they were. It was really one of the scariest moments of our life yet out there. So we will share all of that with you in great detail. Yes, they are fine. We did end up locating them eventually. Eventually recovered the snow machines and all is hunky-dory, and then we waited it out for the snow to melt. In the meantime, while the snow is melting, you'll see several different videos of us working on my parents' cabin here in Alaska that they purchased, renovating that and getting it ready for their visit, which currently my mom is visiting right now, and she has our boys, which is why they're not here with us. So they're getting to spend plenty of time over at her cabin with her, making memories, doing all sorts of Alaskan things. So that's been really cool. And then we'll share our first visit back to the cabin after the snow melt. So our first time seeing it without snow since we got a roof on, and when we left in an absolute hurry. So it was shocking to us to see what was under the snow. And just be out there during summer with my mom for the first time. So that was really awesome to share that with her and our boys. So we'll be sharing that as well, so you can see what it looked like when we first got out there on our first snow melt adventure. And so those are kind of some of the things to come. So we'll share all of that with you, plus our big cross-country trek, which is going to bring us on just shy of 6,000 miles, 16 days, 22 national parks, state parks, monuments, combination 11 states and 2 countries total. So we're gonna go hard, and we're gonna share it all with you, and we're really honestly just hoping to make the best experience and memories for our kids in the end. But we figure it doesn't hurt to share our journey along the way with you all. So those of you who are able to join us tonight, we appreciate it. And thanks for sticking around through our journey here in Alaska and beyond.